From a landmarked Venetian-style palace, to a private dock, to a full performing arts theater with its own stage, there's a mansion in Palm Beach that's been listed for $175 million, and it sits less than a mile from Mar-a-Lago. But here's the real question. What does $175 million actually buy you? Because at this level, you're not paying for a house. You're paying for territory. You're paying for history. You're paying for privacy, status, and access, all wrapped into one address, Casa del Ensuenos, located at 800 South County Road in the Palm Beach Estate section. And the numbers behind this place are so extreme, they sound like someone accidentally added an extra zero. We're talking about 15 bedrooms, 18 full bathrooms, plus 5 half baths, 21,534 living square feet, and roughly 27,000 plus total square feet across multiple structures. But the most shocking part, it's not the bedroom count. It's what this property was built to do, and what it had to survive to become a $175 million listing. What we're really touring today. Casa del Ensuenos is a Venetian-style estate designed by famed Palm Beach architect Addison Mizner, and it's been designated a Palm Beach landmark, a rare status that changes everything about how the home is valued. And according to coverage, it's also one of just 2 Venetian-style mansions Mizner built in town. Now, if you're thinking, okay, so it's old and expensive, no, that would be far too ordinary. Because this isn't just a historic mansion. This place reportedly went through a massive multi-year transformation after being damaged. By flooding, it was reimagined into a modern, fortified waterfront compound. So today, we're going to go segment by segment and build the $175 million picture. And trust me, the wow factors don't come all at once, they stack. Segment 1. The location. Why near Mar-a-Lago isn't just clickbait. Let's start with the part that sounds like a headline, but acts like a magnet. This mansion sits just north of Mar-a-Lago in one of the most exclusive corridors in Palm Beach. And that matters because in Palm Beach, addresses don't just tell you where you live. They tell you who can casually reach you. They tell you which social circuit you're inside. They tell you what kind of privacy you can realistically maintain, especially in an area that's constantly attracting global attention. The listing also emphasizes the estate section positioning, minutes from Worth Avenue, Mar-a-Lago, and the growing Wall Street South presence in West Palm Beach. This location is engineered for someone who wants the best of both worlds. Old money Palm Beach calm, and new money convenience across the water. But the real reason this address is so valuable is behind the mansion. Because this isn't near the water, this is on the water with serious frontage. Segment 2. The land, plus water. 200 feet of yes, that's yours. Casa del Ensuenos sits on a nearly 1.5-acre direct waterfront lot along the Intracoastal with about 200 feet of frontage. Think about what that means in Palm Beach. On an island where land is the rarest ingredient, this property doesn't just have a backyard, it has a coastline, and it's not just water to look at. The listing describes private docks paired with a 40,000-pound boat lift. Let me repeat that, a 40,000-pound boat lift. That's not for a casual weekend runabout. That's for someone who treats boating like commuting. And then comes one of the most cinematic details. The coverage describes a courtyard archway that was once used by yachts. A courtyard designed with yachting in mind. That's not nice design. That's a lifestyle flex built into the bones of the home. And now, with the renovation, the property adds a new layer to the water story. The listing highlights a new seawall, which brings us to the part of this mansion that most people don't think about until they're spending 9 figures. Segment 3. The real modern luxury, resilience. Here's a truth about ultra-expensive waterfront property in 2026. Luxury isn't just marble. Luxury is survival planning. This estate was reportedly damaged by flooding and then transformed, rebuilt, and reimagined to function as a modern compound. You can see the modern fortress language in the listing itself. Impact glass, a generator, a comprehensive security camera system, and that new seawall again. That is the part of the price tag most people miss, because the mansion isn't just designed to impress your guests, it's designed to keep working when the environment gets ugly. Now, we've covered location, we've covered water, we've covered the invisible luxury. So now we reach the part that makes the number feel real, the scale. Segment 4. The size. This isn't a home, it's a compound. The living area alone is listed at 21,534 square feet, but the listing also describes the overall compound as roughly 27,000 plus total square feet, because this isn't a single structure with a front door. This is a multi-building estate. The listing describes the property as consisting of a main house, a boathouse, a tennis pavilion, and a dedicated garage building, and the bedroom/bathroom count is what you'd expect from a private hotel. At this scale, guest rooms stops being a concept. You don't have guests, you have an entourage, you have security staff, you have family members with their own wings, you have friends who show up and stay for weeks, and the property is built to support that lifestyle without friction. The listing mentions an elevator, because when a residence becomes a multi-level compound, stairs are no longer charming. They're inefficient. Now let's go inside, because the interior is where this listing stops being a Palm Beach mansion and starts feeling like a private resort disguised as a historic landmark. Segment 5. The architecture. Addison Mizner Venetian in Palm Beach. Casa del Ensuenos is tied to Addison Mizner, the architect whose Mediterranean revival identity helped define Palm Beach. That's a huge part of the what money buys here, because you're not just buying square footage, you're buying a piece of a very specific Palm Beach myth. Arched loggias, courtyards, carved details, old world romance, but with modern systems hiding behind the walls. And the listing makes it explicit. The estate was completely gut-renovated and refitted as a contemporary marvel with modern conveniences. So you get the best of both worlds, the historic, landmarked Mizner identity, with modern infrastructure, impact glass, generator, security systems, and new seawall. But the true centerpiece of a Venetian-style mansion isn't a kitchen, it's the sequence of spaces, the flow. And this mansion doesn't just have rooms, it has moments. And the next moment is where the wow factor jumps, because it's not a ballroom, it's something even rarer. Segment 6. The theater. Yes, a stage, inside your house. The listing describes a full performing arts theater with a stage. Read that again. A theater with a stage, inside your mansion. That's not a media room. That's not a big screen. That's a private venue. That means this home wasn't designed just for living. It was designed for hosting, for private performances, for events where guests don't leave the property for entertainment because the entertainment is built in. And once you install something like that, it changes the identity of the entire estate. This is no longer a home. This is a private campus where leisure is organized like a 5-star resort, which is exactly why the next feature makes perfect sense. Segment 7. The resort features. Tennis, fire, and an infinity edge. This estate includes a private, sunken red clay tennis court. Not hard court, not pickleball. Red clay, the kind of surface that signals tradition, maintenance, and serious design intent. Then the pool. The listing describes a heated infinity pool with swim-resistance jets. So it's not just for photos, it's engineered for training and daily use. And at night, the listing highlights exquisite exterior landscape lighting. Because at this level, lighting isn't decoration, it's atmosphere. It turns the property into a staged environment where the mansion doesn't just sit on the land, it glows. And then there's the classic luxury detail that changes the way a home feels in your chest. The listing calls out 8 fireplaces. 8. That is an intentional design choice. It means warmth was built into the experience. Multiple gathering points, multiple lounges, multiple keep people here spaces. Now we've seen the water, we've seen the theater, we've seen the tennis and the pool. So the question becomes, who actually buys something like this? Because the buyer isn't looking for a deal. They're looking for something else entirely. Segment 8. Who buys a $175 million mansion near Mar-a-Lago? Let's be honest. A $175 million mansion doesn't sell the way normal houses sell. It sells in whispers. It sells in private tours. It sells through LLCs. It sells to people who don't need to ask the price twice. And the likely buyer profile isn't mysterious when you look at what the property offers. This is designed for someone who wants to operate on 3 levels at once. 1. Social power. A Palm Beach estate section address near the most famous club on the island. 2. Lifestyle power. A waterfront compound with private docks and a £40,000 boat lift. 3rd, hosting power. A property that includes a performing arts theatre with a stage, plus resort amenities like tennis and an infinity pool. So the likely pool of buyers is the usual apex tier. Hedge fund and private equity leaders, tech founders and late-stage executives, global entrepreneurs, multi-generational legacy wealth, and occasionally entertainment or sports giants who want the Palm Beach social orbit, not because they need 15 bedrooms, but because they want the symbol, they want the fortress. They want the legacy purchase, something that feels like it can't be duplicated. And that brings us to the final truth of this listing. Final reframe. What $175 million really buys. This isn't just a mansion. It's a rare combination of things that almost never appear in the same package. A landmarked Mizner identity rooted in Palm Beach history. A massive multi-structure compound at 21,534 plus square feet of living space. A waterfront position with approximately 1.5 acres and approximately 200 feet of frontage. A modern resilience layer, impact glass, generator, security system, and new seawall. Plus resort-grade features like the sunken red clay tennis court and heated infinity, pool with swim-resistance jets. And the detail that makes it feel truly unreal. A performing arts theatre with a stage. So when you hear $175 million near Mar-a-Lago, don't picture a bigger version of a normal mansion. Picture a private, landmarked, waterfront world designed to host, protect, and impress, all at the same time. Now I want to ask you something. If you had $175 million to spend on a home, would you rather buy a landmarked Palm Beach estate like this, waterfront, fortified, built for, hosting ... Or would you take the money and build something brand new from scratch? And which feature is the craziest to you? The private docks and boat lift? The sunken red clay tennis court? Or the fact there's a theatre with a stage inside the house? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more videos that take you inside the most unbelievable lifestyles on Earth, click the next card on your screen.